Three men and a microphone. Like a breakfast show, but not at breakfast. And with no music. And it's a podcast. So nothing like a breakfast show, really.
I got sent an email from someone that is connected to one of us three. And this one of us three is Darren's wife. Yes.
My wife's been in touch.
Yes, your wife has emailed me. I believe you may be sleeping in separate rooms at the moment because she's not very happy with you. And I believe it might be because during the night, you sort of sound a bit like this.
Now, I didn't think the new Jurassic Park was out until next year. But what the sweet Jesus was that?
Just to picture the scene. I'm lying in bed with the wife. Hi, babe. You all right? Yeah, I'm happy with it. Yeah, it's fine. Let me just take the mask off and we'll have a smooch.
Oh,
when we've all finished, instead of cuddling and going, love you too, we go, I'm going to turn over and mask up again.
Oh, you don't want it, do you?
These Three Media. Three Men and a Microphone podcast. So it's time for Damien's Bits.
So this is a bit in the podcast that we hand over to Damien for his bits. Have you got a juicy bit for us today, Damien?
I've got 2 bits today for you. Yeah, 2 bits. Now,
bits?
Are they dangling bits?
Do you know what? This is more of a wet bit
Ooh.
and a juicy bit.
Ooh.
I got dumped over a wet bit once.
Ooh.
Juicy and
Now-
juicy and wet.
This is interesting because, Darren, you're a man that...
Sorry.
I'm
so sorry.
I'm staying in on the demo.
Darren, you're a man that likes a finger.
Fudge? What?
So, now, I saw this, and again, when I do these, you've corpse, haven't you? You've gone.
He's not going to do this.
I don't know which one he's gone, a finger or the other one.
Three men close to a midlife crisis. 3 microphones, 1 Zoom call, all lead to this. On the Three Men and a Microphone podcast.
Going on. Oh, actually, I did that.
I mean, really?
Hang on, wait for it.
You didn't get this one?
Ah! Who spoke? Who spoke? Darren?
No, it wasn't me.
It was you, right.
Yeah.
Quiet.
I'd beat him if I were you. A bit of phlegm.
Jesus Christ. I haven't even done the tray. Right.
Right, F-bomb.
This is Three Men and a Microphone on the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
So we just saw a bear through a little hole in the fake cave that they made.
A little what? Sorry?
He was looking through the mirror.
No. Let's go back. A little what?
A little bear.
No. Before
No.
the bear, you said the bear, but before the bear, you said what? What was that word?
What's wrong?
What was the word? Say the word.
Oh.
A roll? Oh.
Oh, God.
Where did you get it from?
A little hole through the fake cave that they made for
I
the
mean,
bear.
we're
So we saw
broadcasting
the
to the
bear.
nation, man. Oh.
Anyway, carry on. Number 4 for my children's toys is, and I'm going to say you're so going to rip the Mickey out of me for this one, is a spirograph.
I can't. Do you know what? I haven't got
I got
the
one.
energy.
I got one for Christmas, and I never used it.
Oh,
I used to
Never
spend
used
hours.
You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort. of your sorrow.
3 men and a microphone. Like a breakfast show, but not at breakfast. And with no music. And it's a podcast. So nothing like a breakfast show, really.
Good evening. Hello, good evening. Welcome to 3 Men and a Microphone from These 3 Media. It is Wednesday Wednesday the 17th of February. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube.
You should date it, Ian, by the way. Because
Say again, sorry.
you shouldn't date it because people might be listening to this in 6 months' time and they're going, oh,
Darren, are we recording the interview at the moment? Recording the podcast at the moment? This is the live introduction
Do you know what? I love
to
it
the
when
show.
they're bitey.
just saying.
How many
They've
times?
Been like this in a production meeting. Do you know
How
what I
many
mean?
times?
We had one of our...
How many times have I said to you, this is the live introduction when we are live on a Wednesday? Then
This
we
is why I don't
mention-
turn up till 30 seconds before we're on, because of you two. Honestly.
Anyway, welcome to the show. You will notice we all have new branding. I like a lot. It looks very nice.
I must say thank you very much to 2020, who have done this, 2020 Designs. So thank you very much. Very good.
Yes, it is very good. It is our new branding. Now 3 Men and a Microphone and all that.
Can I just say I think it looked better as a cartoon than I do in real life?
I
Oh,
don't,
me too. Seriously. I
don't disagree with any of you on that one. Yes.
Ian looks like a bush hopper. Seriously. Well, do you know what I mean? I like them. I think they're great. They really are.
Yes, it is all good and everything is good. Right, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you're going to enjoy the show. Don't forget, if you want to get in contact with us, leave us a message on Facebook chat. You can also leave a message on the YouTube chat as well. And we will try and reply as we go along. Coming up on today's show, we're going to have all of our usual news talky bits. We've got On The Box, we've got Damien's Bits, we've got the Retro Hall of Fame with Elliot Kennedy, who is a world famous and very well known singer-songwriter. Dan will introduce that more later. And we've got an interview with him coming out on Sunday. We will be doing that interview on there. So that is all good. We've got big names coming up over the course of the next few weeks as well, but we're not going to ruin
big news
the surprise.
as well. Big news.
And big news, yes.
Oh, it's exciting.
Darren, apparently you look very dark, according to people on Facebook.
You do look very dark, actually, Darren.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of light. Can we have some light in your studio?
Because our graphic designer there, who made the colours, can't see the letters, so I've had to change the thing. Do I look really dark?
Looks like you're sat in a room on your own.
There you go. That's better.
That's better. We've got you now. We've got you.
I can see your lights. If you just move it off to the side a little bit, so it's not in view of the camera, that would be great.
You are a bit finickety, aren't you?
Yes, everything's got to look right. I spend a lot of time and effort on getting this to look as good as it does.
Mr. OCD.
OCD your face in a minute. Anyway.
Could be one of them days, is it?
I've had a very long week
on my lovely sign in the background. You two actually look real, and I just look like a ghost face. You can actually see I just look like some sort of exorcist.
I do need to talk to you, Damien. If we're going to carry on with this, I think you may need to invest in an upgrade of your broadband. I'm just saying.
Right.
You're sort of letting the team down on your upload speed.
Well,
so...
it's as fast as it will go. Unfortunately, in this area. So,
okay.
Should we start?
If you can get on to BT and ask them to improve your speed for me, please.
Is
it me, Darren? Was he just getting on your nerves already?
I think he's just had one of them weeks.
He's grating on me. Seriously,
soaked up my stress this week.
I've had a very big. And actually, anyway, can I just mention the T-shirt, which I'm quite like? Do any of you get that reference?
Is that Donkey Kong?
It is Donkey Kong holding his little son or whatever up, and it is as the Lion King. See, wasted on you. Pop culture, wasted.
I take it they've done a film spin-off of The Lion King?
No, it's just it's one of those retro geeky shirts. That's all that is.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed for him. I don't know. No, I know. We'll see you later anyway. Take care.
Can we start yet then?
Yes, we will. Right, let's start the recording. Thank you. I'll just say quick good evenings to the normal, to everyone that's watching. Colin and Bryn, Anthony is watching as well. David and Lynn and all the usual people are watching. So if you are watching tonight, hello, welcome, enjoy the show. We are recording episode number 41, which will be out on Monday the 22nd of February. Are we both ready, gentlemen?
Let's do it.
Excellent. Let's go. Oh, you know that big news? Are they sure they want us?
You've not fudged it again.
Are they really sure they want us?
Hopefully he's not listening tonight, although he has added me on social media.
Yeah, wonders of editing. Right, let's try that again.
It's time to delve into the archive for the Retro Hall of Fame on the Three Men.
I don't believe it. I do not believe
Oh,
it.
help
Listen,
me.
can we put everybody in the picture, right? So we've been picked up for one season by a national podcast radio station. And they've said they're going to put 15 of our best episodes out, right?
Certainly won't do it with this one.
The boss of the radio station's added me on Facebook. He likes what we do. He's probably going to watch and listen tonight anyway of the live recording of the shows. And Captain over there is fudging it.
My reasoning, my excuse is that all of this in the edit sounds absolutely fine, and none of this goes in at all.
This is why we broadcast it live. It's
Yeah.
the fun bits. Do you know what I mean?
Everyone, right? Let's try that. Take 3.
Three men and a microphone. Like a breakfast show, but not at breakfast. And with no music. And it's a podcast. So nothing like a breakfast show, really.
These three media: Ian Barstow, Damien Lee, Darren Antrobus. Three Men and a Microphone podcast.
Hello, welcome to 3 Men and a Microphone. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to episode number 40 of the podcast. My name is Ian Barstow, joined as ever by Mr. Damien Lee. Hello, Damien.
Do you know something? Do you think the microphone needs his own name? Because it's like Damien, Ian, and Darren, and the microphone. Does he need a name?
Can we call it Muffley?
No.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Just to give him a name. Because I feel like it's 3 men and a microphone. Is his name... His name's MP, isn't it?
Yeah, or Stick,
Yeah.
or, you know.
Oh, you haven't got kids, Ian. Damien will know this. Sticky, stick, 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 sticky, stick, stick, stick.
Never do that again. Hiya. Yeah, I'm good.
No idea what that was. And
Don't
hello,
want to do it
Darren.
again either.
Yes, hello, Darren. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you, very well. Up and down week, but yeah, very well.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Definitely do. Right, coming up on today's show. Sorry, say again?
Let's not go there.
Okay, well, we can do if you want to. Coming up on today's show, we will have On The Box. We've got Damien's Bits. We've got the Retro Hall of Fame featuring this week Elliot Kennedy, who is a songwriter to the stars. And we've
What's
got
he written, Ian? What's he written? I'm excited. What's he written?
Darren.
Okay, so he's written a whole back catalogue of major hits for people like Bryan Adams, Gary Barlow, Spice Girls, Five, S Club 7, and he's now got his own music out while he's in his midlife kind of stage. And who persuaded him? Gary Barlow said, "Come on, Elliot, do your own song, do your own album." So he's finally doing his own music. But more on that about the interviews later.
Yes.
And this is fantastic. They want to come on 3 Men and a Microphone. Lisa Appleton, done. Adam Rickett, plural, done.
Joe
John
Lycett.
Courtney.
Sit, done.
John Courtney, nearly done.
Nearly done. Nearly done. And that's what I love. They're coming onto our show because it's getting bigger and better every week. Put it into your search engine, 3 Men and a Microphone. You will find it. Wherever you get them from. Spotify, Google Play, Haska, Hunska, Skinska.
Stitcher.
Put it in there.
And do follow us on social media because we do have some news that we are hoping to be able to properly announce very soon. So just find us on Facebook. 3 Men and a
Hopefully,
Microphone.
yeah, because normally the news that we get is normally from Darren. And let's be honest, It doesn't really go anywhere. But for this news, we're welcome and we're excited.
Yes,
so
and it's very true.
Absolutely no need for that, Damo.
It is true.
Now listen, yeah, I mean, look, you build us up. I mean, I won't lie. I fired a jet and had fireworks for the last big news you told me about. I got the news, the fireworks went off, and I had to tell them to cancel them. Then you can't cancel fireworks; they've been done. Nothing.
Oh, it's not. It's not. So it's true, Darren. Right. So the big news this week is sort of over the last couple of weeks is that our vaccine rollout in the UK for COVID-19 has gone very well. I am in category 6 for vaccines because I've got celiac disease, which is classed as one of the ones that is higher risk because of spleen issues. By and by, so I have my vaccine. So by the time this goes out, I will have had my first COVID-19 jab,
which is tremendous,
and I am really looking forward to it.
Little story, actually. Ian, myself, and Darren, we kind of lost contact, really, and this show has brought us back together and all of that good stuff. Now, seldom Ian and I would see each other in different places. It might be walking past a Chinese where we used to park our cars. It might be in the town centre. Well, on this...
Walking past a Chinese, is that a Chinese place that does specifically
run by Italians?
It is actually, yeah. It was taken over recently by a Greek man. So anyway, getting back to my story before I was rudely interrupted by a giant-sized bear, we Ian and I hadn't seen each other for many years. Now, in all the places that you would expect to see someone, probably wouldn't expect to see someone at this place. So I was having a little bit of trouble with me bowels and was going to a place to have a camera up your bottom, which, you should do if you've got issues. Go there. And then all of a sudden, while I was getting a bit nervous, building myself up, I was there thinking, right, okay, I just need to be okay. Nothing's going to stress me out. Nothing's going to take my mind away from this good Zen. And then there it is. Hiya! Haven't seen you for years. How are you? Oh. I was like, who's that? Oh, you Damien, you're right. Oh, fancy seeing you here. It was actually Ian.
I'm not that camp, am I?
So in all the places of all the areas, I saw Ian in the bum place.
I was actually working at the same radio station where, Ian, you fell ill. Do you remember the time?
Yes, very well. Very well.
And I remember you telling me about it, and Joe was there. Joe Lassett was there at the time as well. Mm-hmm. And you told us a story about it, and me and Joe, actually, and Mark, thought that you got something a lot worse than what you got. And when you explained what you got, we all three of us went, is that
it? Yeah, I know, yeah. Really? Well, for your story, Damien, if I'd known that was a procedure you were having, I may well have suggested to the consultant that I, help do the procedure.
I mean, there has been rumours for many years, Ian. Many years. But yeah, just...
Sedative? You're not having a sedative, Damien. Just bend over.
Not at all. I'd have been finished off, to be honest. It would have been game over. So, but there we go. So, but back to the vaccines. And we're not going to get on our kind of political, because that's not what this show's about. They've got a lot of things wrong. What I will say with this rollout, I tip my hat. It's a massive collective with the army, volunteers, but to get now nearly 16 million people vaccinated is amazing. And I think we're going slowly. If hopefully my children, for my own sanity and for their sanity, will be back at school on the 8th of March, and then let's see how things gradually go. But I think, as Ian said, for the news, it's fantastic. And Darren, I hear a little rumour that you might be getting a prick.
Have you been waiting? Have you been thinking of that one, Damien?
Honestly, I've been saving that up for about 42 episodes.
That is brilliant.
Thank you, mate.
That's going in the demo. And the best. Right, so basically, I was telling Ian off air earlier on before you bothered to turn up so late, that I'm a little bit embarrassed about this because I have no underlying health problems. And I'll tell you that now, I don't have any. I've not got diabetes, I've not got heart problems. There's a lot of people worse off than me are more deserved of this, and quite rightly so. It shocked me when I got the text.
However, there is They have changed what they class people as clinically vulnerable. So there was a story of 1.7 million extra people have been told to shield, and there is a different criteria. Or it could just be that the doctor hasn't bothered to tell you yet. Have you got any appointments? Have you got any appointments coming up?
What about?
Well, you know that you might have an underlying health condition.
No, I haven't actually. No,
an itch or anything.
Yeah, the only thing, the problem I've got is the sleep apnea thing, which we're going to get on to a bit later.
Yeah.
But basically, it's because I'm fat, probably.
And because, like, going back before you go to that big announcement, I asked Darren this many times because we're all in contact every day, the three of us.
Oh, God damn, I know it.
I know, every day, literally. Sometimes every minute. In actual fact, it's seconds. So we were having a bit of a social media. Like, so, Darren, you're having it? I knew Ian was celiac, but you're having it. And Darren was like, and I was like, okay, so anything underlying? No. Are you sure? Anything? No. And I was like, well, what's the reason? And I could just see him saying, it's because I'm fat, Dermar. And like, but I don't see you as, I don't see you as a fat man. I mean,
feel it. Don't get me wrong. You know, wake up every morning, backache. You know, I feel it. You know, but I'm not ill with it.
Did you put on the weight so you could get the vaccine?
You know what I mean? It's like, Ian, you can't fix your celiac, can you? You have to stick to a very strict diet.
Hello, Damien.
Did you eat burgers and pies and things like that so you could have the COVID injection?
No.
Because I wouldn't again. I don't see you as a fat man.
I would say me and you are probably about the same size. I shouldn't say that.
I definitely see you as a fat man, to be honest. Always. Absolute. Seriously. It's like Rick Waller's been birth to. Seriously.
Oh, dear. But yeah, I'm a bit embarrassed about it.
This is Three Men and a Microphone podcast.
Now, I didn't listen to this before I played that just before the show, and I've just got to ask you, Darren. You named this as Three Men Sexy. Let me just play that again.
This is Three Men and a Microphone podcast.
What is that at the end?
It's just a lady very excited.
So we're about to go into a national radio station, and one of our jingles and idents is something like from TVX.
You would not believe what I had to type into YouTube to get that sound.
Well, I can imagine, but Three Men and a Microphone. What's the microphone doing? Oh, blimey. It's just like, wow.
I'm editing, aren't I? Really?
What's the noise go like, E?
That's definitely not When Harry Met Sally, is it?
No.
Oh, my Lord.
Or give me a hell yeah. Or that one, if you've been on TikTok. No.
No, let's move on. That was another one. Let's edit that out.
No, let's not. Right. So, Darren, you've been doing quite a lot of interviews recently, haven't you? For audio content for our, can I say, soon to be launched Interviews podcast.
Yes.
That we have some
kind of going already, aren't they? But
yes, but dribs and drabs. But we are planning on launching a brand new Interviews podcast, and we've got some, hopefully, fingers crossed, some good names coming up on that. But you did speak to one of the stars of last year's Retro Hall of Fame. No, not Retro Hall of Fame.
What?
You see, this is where he goes sometimes, because I saw him going. I actually imagine him on a roller coaster there. He was about to get to the peak and thought, he hasn't got the belt on here. Absolutely no chance.
I've just had a unfriend notification. It's the guy from that place.
Anyway,
Yeah.
So you've been speaking to one of last year's stars of UK Drag Race.
Oh, yes.
And
yes, I
you
did,
have
yeah.
been speaking to Ms. Vivian.
Before you play it,
Yes.
I was terrified. I spoke to you, didn't I, when I got the interview booking, and I'm like...
I need to take you to a club when they're back open with a
No, you
proper... I do, with a proper drag star. I just need to take it, and I'm just going to video it just to see what your reaction is like.
They terrify me because they do rip into you.
Exactly, that's what's brilliant about them.
Do you know what? It is fantastic. And I think lately, we'll talk about this on the box later, but there's so much serious stuff on at the moment. At one point, I went onto my Sky Plus and we had Marcella The Drowning, was just like, really need something not like this. So we've watched so many episodes of. So we hadn't watched any of season 13, so we've been watching that. And do you know what? It's just good fun. It's like The Masked Singer. Do you know what? People absolutely rip it, but it is such good fun. And I think at the moment we all need a bit of a giggle. And you know what? The Vivian, my goodness, Darren. And I must say, I tip the hat to Darren because he has got a lot of these guests for us recently.
Right. So basically, before you continue, Ian.
Well, I'm Damien, but it doesn't matter. To be honest.
So this is I got a little message. Dan sent me a little Facebook message, and he said, "Oh, I've got something for you," and I've got a shout out from the Vivian.
Hello, Ian Barstow. I'm being very careful how I pronounce your second name there.
I've lived with that for 41 years, dear. You don't need to tell me my surname sounds like bastard, do you? No. Anyway, thank you so much.
You didn't read that very well, did you?
No. Thank you so much, Vivian. Much appreciated that I got a shout out that I might put as a ringtone. Anyway, so this is Darren speaking to the Vivian on 3 Men and a Microphone from These Three Media. Clean edit. Okay, good. If you're watching live and you want to hear that audio, you're going to have to download the podcast to hear it all.
It's like a little hook. Do you know what I mean?
That's
like
what we call in the industry is a tease.
Yes.
Oh, so
that is a
basically, when
tease.
we do the promo for this show, it's going to be, we're going to have our guest, the songwriter, and also featuring Vivian.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a
what a
cram-packed show. I know.
What a show!
Right.
What a show!
We need to do an out of that interview. Is there anything you need to say after that, Darren?
Basically, how scared I was of him.
Okay, right, cool. And there you go, the Vivian on 3 Men and a Microphone. She was a brilliant winner last year on Drag Race UK. Absolutely fantastic. This year's Drag Race UK is probably better for me. I'm loving it. Lots. Now, Darren, how scared were you?
Lots and lots and lots. And I also didn't realise how actually very, very, very quick and funny she really is. Very talented at doing all the impressions and stuff. Very good.
Was this a video? Because we've just listened to the audio. Was this a video podcast, video record, or just over the phone?
It was just over the phone because I'm assuming that all the gear wasn't ready. Yes.
Now there is that. Now I saw. I used to go to Blackpool quite a lot, and there was a club that we used to go to, and it was the same drag artist every single week, and she did the same act every single week, but she was very funny. And we went one day when she wasn't on stage, and she was in the bar as him. And my partner went, "That is," and I've completely forgotten her name now. Now I'm talking about it, but that is that person. And I was like, "Really? Completely different."
It's amazing,
and it takes hours to put that makeup on. Have you ever done drag, Damien?
It's one thing, and I was having a chat to my wife about it. It is on my bucket list to do. It's something I would love to do. I'm quite happy. Shave the legs. Get me into some.
Don't shave
porno.
the legs. Don't shave the legs.
They're going. And I'm getting some of those. Those stripper shoes. Those are on.
Yeah.
I'm getting a blonde wig. I'm going to be a trollop here.
The as I would call them, the me boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I reckon, I've got a good pair of legs on me. I reckon if I was to walk down the road in Stoke-on-Trent, I reckon I'd hear, how's it going, baby? And that'd be our dad checking me out.
So do you think
I've been told by the gay community that I'm actually classed as a bear.
You are a bear.
Yeah, you are a bear, yes.
You are a bear.
You are a bear.
Yeah.
Do you know what a bear is?
I haven't got a clue.
So a bear is a slightly bigger build person who has. I was trying to be polite. Who has a lot of body hair. That is what a bear is. No. The bald head and the beard works perfectly. So you're either a bear or you can be an otter. And I'm not making that up.
Be a bear, actually. I like the name bear.
Well, the otter is a younger bear.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, mate, if you go in the world...
And we've gone, seriously, on this show, we've spoken about the bear far too many times, and the owl, and all of that. We're not going down that road anymore. We're moving on from
I agree with Damien. I would quite like to be... I'd quite like to dress up in drag just once. I think it will. I think it gives you just a mask to be as more outrageous.
I reckon you would be very good in drag, Ian, because you've got the proper dramatic attitude with it anyway.
I think what we need to do, I think for a special, when we can, I think we film it, and I think we have a special 3 men and a microphone do drag, and I can arrange it. Got my drag friends, and I think we do it. I think we do it as a special episode.
Do you think it could be hosted by Tina Biscuits?
This is actually my last show as a threesome.
Oh, Darren, if for the ratings and for the listeners and for the viewerships, you will dress up in drag.
It would be amazing.
I have a big beard. I will look like Kenny Everett.
Yeah, I have a beard as well. I wouldn't get rid of it.
I don't have a beard.
You can't.
Unfortunately, I tried. It was one hair.
Have a beard.
It was one hair that was slightly ginger. It concerned me.
So, episode 150 special, 3 men and a microphone, drag race.
I'll tell you what. If we can get to 100 downloads,
we're on that already, mate. I'm going to cut that bit out. Don't downplay us.
Okay, what are we on now then? Okay,
I'm not going to tell you now, am I?
Give me a number then.
32,000.
No, we'll move on.
I'll cut that bit. Right. Hello to everyone watching on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. Thank you very much. You are listening to 3 Men and a Microphone live show every single Wednesday from 8 o'clock. Well, not every Wednesday, but nearly every Wednesday. From 8 o'clock, we are here doing the live show. Right. Damien, Darren, have you got any newsy bits, or should we do on the box?
I've got one. Have you got anything, Damien?
No.
Okay.
I'm conscious of time, guys. We need to keep it a bit tighter.
I forget it then.
No, we'll do your sleep apnea, mate.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I had a letter anyway to say that I've got to go to the sleep clinic wear a thing to monitor my breathing because apparently I die a few times while I'm asleep. Anyway, move on. He said he was worried about time.
Clean edit. So, Darren, you are you're getting the COVID jab as we discussed, but you've also had you're going into what they call a sleep clinic.
Yeah, I was quite excited at first when I read the headline of the letter.
So have you got to go somewhere and spend the night in a really bad hotel for them to monitor you? It's not that type of sleep clinic.
No,
yet.
I wish it was.
But it's not just come back in the country from somewhere far away and he's got to stay in a hotel.
Red list.
Poor Daz.
No, basically I have to go to the sleep clinic in my local hospital and collect a load of paraphernalia.
A load of what? Paraphernalia?
Paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia.
Yeah, that's it.
Blimey, when's that come into market? It's a new one, isn't it?
And strap it to my chest.
Blimey, Midnight Express,
And
serious.
it puts like probes up my nose and stuff, and it just monitors what happens to me when I'm asleep.
Now the thing is, Darren, I said this last week. One of my friends has got sleep apnea. It's something that it can be helped. However, please warn people of what you're going to wear, because I said last week I didn't know that my friend had it, and he walked into the room looking like Darth Maul and Bane, and basically you go to sleep in a mask. So, like Darren said, I mean, if you're just starting dating, imagine that, your first night over. Because when you first start dating, let's be honest, you don't have a poo for a while, do you? You or you go to the toilet, you turn the taps on.
And you don't pass wind in company, do you?
No, you don't, no. And you turn the taps on, and they're like, oh, you're a while, weren't you? I was like, yeah, just had a little wash. Just, wash my arms.
It's so true.
It is, though, isn't it? You turn the taps on. But it's the same thing. If you were just starting dating, how would you get around that? By the way, love, I'm in a mask, because they could think you're a bit kinky, couldn't they?
I'm not planning on sleeping with anybody else apart from the wife, so she knows.
Oh, you're married? Oh, sorry.
And I've actually got an actual true story about that.
You've actually got a wife.
I've actually got a true story of when you said you don't go and use the loo for a number 2 when you start dating. When I had a second date with my ex-wife, we went back to her house. This is in said Redditch, of course, as you know. And I went to use the loo for number 2, and it got blocked. So I had to use the toilet brush, and I had to hide the toilet brush because it got clogged up itself in a bag and try and get it. In the end, I threw it out of the bathroom window.
Mate, I've been but I've been there very similar at work. This was a past job, and I had a really bad. I think I'd been glutened. I had a really bad stomach, and I could not control. I don't like doing this at work if I can, and it was so bad it got blocked. So I put the toilet drop down, and it was like I can't wash it. so I hid it in the bin. And then it still wouldn't flush properly. And I'm like, oh, I must have been in there about 30 minutes waiting for it. And it was the slowest ever. You know, when the system fills back up, it was the slowest ever. So between
this
each
is not where we used to work together.
No, it wasn't there. It was somewhere else. And it was like, and then, of course, because there was only 2 toilets in this flipping floor. So I walk out and there's no air freshener. I walk out and I'm like, I'm going to go outside and have a cigarette. And it's horrible.
I threw it out the window, right, onto the flat roof, the conservatory roof, right? The next day, I had to quickly go to the shop. I'm just going to get a paper, buy a new one, put it in the toilet, right? She went outside and she opened the curtain and she went, "Oh, what's that doing out there?" I don't know. Your neighbour must have had a party last night or something. Something going on.
There's
brilliant.
nothing worse, is there? Nothing worse. Anyway, that made me laugh.
3 men close to a midlife crisis. 3 microphones, 1 Zoom call, all lead to this. On the 3 Men and a Microphone podcast.
So it is time for On the Box.
These 3 Media. 3 Men and a Microphone podcast.
So yes, this is On the Box. This is where we go over what we've watched over the last 7 days and we would recommend for you to watch. I am going to start today with a film. Now this is a film that is it's a fairly low budget. In fact, it's a very low budget film. It is a British film. It is written, directed and stars the same person, who is a Mr. Carl Holt. And it also, I know one of the people that stars in it as one of the characters in there, and it is a film called Benny Loves You. Now, this is a horror comedy about a teddy bear that comes to life. Think Chucky, but a lot funnier. It was done on a budget, I think, of about £20,000. So this is like a micro budget film. People doing a lot for free. The special effects are really good. It is really funny, very gory, proper like an old slasher type movie. That type of, you can tell it's fake blood, and it's just really good. And you can go and rent it or buy it now on all of the main streaming platforms for a couple of quid. It supports a British film with all British cast, all British actors, all British production crew, everything like that. Thoroughly recommend it. Benny Loves You, which is out now to stream or buy on the digital platforms, and it's a really good film.
I love the idea that they are donating the funds to the much needed film industry, British, which is much needed, by the way. Who is it you know that's in the film?
I know a James Pearson, who is one of the actors in there. And how I knew about this, I follow the boyfriend of the director, and have done for years on Twitter. Never met him, never spoken to him, but obviously he was doing it, and it was like, I'm going to watch that. And yeah, it was done on a proper, really small scale budget. And it's just but it doesn't feel like a proper small scale budget film. You know, you watch some small budget films and you're like, oh, it's just bad sound, bad cameras.
So what's the plot?
It is basically a teddy bear. It's if you throw away your much loved teddy bear or toy. So you know you have that one toy when you're a child, which you take everywhere with you, and then you grow older and you throw it away. If you do that, they come back as evil spirits.
Right.
But it's a really cute teddy bear that just keeps saying, "Benny loves you, cuddles, play with Benny."
Right.
And it just kills everybody pretty much. But
it must have been done for more than 20 grand.
No, it is a really small budget. I'm hoping to interview the director at some point. I have put out the feelers, so Yeah, but I
Well, that's
would
another little
highly
one.
recommend
We
it.
have actually got a Hollywood film director coming up very soon.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll discuss that. You'll find he's my guest.
You might find it's pre-recorded. Anyway, so cut that bit, Ian. Cut that bit. Right, Darren, you're on the box, please. You said you've got a new on the box.
I have a new one. So, Damien, would you please just put your seatbelt on and buckle in for the ride? Because
I'm getting ready.
Fantastic film. Put together again. I'm just going to sing the praises for a second of the online streaming service because they're bringing in and pulling in some big names. So Netflix have got the likes of Kevin Hart and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on board, amongst a load of other big names. This one is Amazon Prime, and it's a disaster movie. And he's nodding. I think you know which one it is.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yes,
but do you know what? The star of the film isn't the star of the film. The really good actor is the little lad in the film, played by Roger Dale Floyd, who goes through... Basically, the premise of the film is there's a comet coming. This comet is laughed at the moment, but then it's going to, extinction level kind of hitting the Earth. And he's got problems with his health, and only so many people can go onto this plane or this transport to get to Greenland. The film is called Greenland, and this is where people are going to stay for the next 9 years or so while all the radiation disappears and the Earth calms down again. It's called Greenland, starring Gerard Butler, and he plays a fantastic part again. I'm a big fan of him.
Really good actor.
Really
See,
good.
I really liked him in White House Down.
Yeah, the Irish films.
The first one of that is really good. The second one is okay. The third one not so. But I really enjoyed Greenland. Now, this was one that was meant to be out in the cinema last summer, but because of COVID, never got released. And I think we're going to see a lot of that from the likes of Netflix, Amazon, and Apple streaming, who will buy these films to use on their streaming platform.
More on that, 1 second. But yeah, Gerard Butler in Greenland. The lady in it is by the name of Morena Baccarin, and I've seen her in loads of other stuff, but I can't remember where. Watch it, stream it. It's a fantastic film. Going back to your point, Ian, by the way, all these streaming services buying up these big blockbuster films because you can't go to the cinema. When are the producers of James Bond going to give up and go, just
Now? There was a rumour just before Christmas that they were touting the sale of the movie to a streaming platform, but they wanted $350 million for a 12-month contract to stream the film. Now you think so Netflix have got a ton of money and spend a ton of money on production. Amazon have a ton of money and spend a lot. Apple all the same. But you imagine them paying $350 million to stream a film for a year. One film. How many people they would have to get subscribing? So it never went anywhere.
I think if you think, though, and there was a recent interview about this, how many people would spend 30 quid to watch the new Bond film? Now, for me, if it was me, my missus, and a mate, maybe, you're looking at 30 quid anyway to go to the cinema. Now, for me, if I had to sit at home, I'm a massive Bond fan, got the whole box set and all of that stuff. I'd pay 30 quid to watch it. And the longer this goes on now, I mean, the film's going to end up being 2 years old, as in made 2 years ago by the time they release it. And it's heartbreaking because, A, it's Daniel Craig's last one. It's going to be a huge film, but this could still... Again, I'm not sure about how these films have done. I know Trolls did really well. I don't know whether it got the money back. There's another one, Soul, that I think's done quite well. I don't know what
another one's in it. I think.
What's that? Sorry.
Frozen 2 was another one, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bill and Ted as well. 3. I don't know if they're making the money back though. I'm not sure.
See, I would not, and because I looked at when they first did them, there was the Trolls one, and I would not pay $15.99 or whatever it was.
You would if you got kids, pal.
Yeah.
It kept them entertained. And they've watched it 3 times now.
But then I'd just go and download it for now.
Damien, you being a big James Bond fan, would you not just want to wait because you want that big screen experience of one of your favourite characters in a big
But Damien's got an 85-inch TV with a massive surround sound system.
Right,
so, you might as well just be at the cinema.
It. I think the longer it goes on, the more I'd be. I don't know, because I like to know it's fresh. And if I watched it and it was 8 years, say 2-3 years old, there was no reference to COVID or anything, it becomes less and less believable. Because as you watch these programs now that were made pre-COVID, you find yourself sitting there going, God, remember that when we could go to a nightclub? God, remember that when there was crowds? And it's kind of, you want to watch things in a way that you know are in current times. But I guess there's the argument then you want to escape from the rubbish that is COVID. So I'd pay the money to watch Bond, to be honest.
I definitely wouldn't. Anyway, right, have you gotten on the box down, Damien?
What I would say is, and it goes back to what I said earlier, there was a lot of dark stuff on my Sky Plus. And Marcella, brilliant programme. The Drowning that was on Channel 5 looks great. And there's some really good programmes coming up on Netflix that I'll talk about next week. But if you haven't had chance and you're enjoying the British version of Drag Race, which is season 2, when they had to have a break in the UK, which was around March time when COVID hit, when RuPaul went back to America, they commenced season 13 of the USA season. And it's in COVID world, the screens and everything. But this season, some of the stars in it, some of the contestants are just absolutely fantastic. I'll give you some of the names of the contestants. We've got Elliot with 2 T's. We've got Mick, we've got Candy Muse, Olivia Lux, Rose, Tina Burner, Joey J, Kamara Hall. It is a great show. I still like the British one better. However, if you're looking for a bit of escapism, lot of colours, lots of fun, lots of campness, and something that, you know what, just takes it. And there's such good music. It's on Netflix. There's 7 episodes so far. Don't know who wins, but give it a go. It's Drag Race season 13 on Netflix.
I've not watched any of the American versions of this. I've only ever watched the British ones.
You need to give it a go, Ian.
I do. And also, I give you one...
Going back to Drag Race, didn't he lose his stuff this week?
Oh, yes, but wasn't it worth it, though? Don't you buy from H&M? If you buy from H&M, you make sure you bring that out of that. Yes.
I mean, he really went to town on
But then he was like, I have been in quarantine for 2 weeks, and I think that was what caused it.
It was. It was like normally you on this show at the beginning when you get something wrong. Sorry, I've been downloading and doing I've been doing my files all week.
You wouldn't believe how much I have to do to get this show on the air. Oh, there's a fly in here. I would recommend Murder at Hilton Farm as well on Netflix, which was on ITV last year. It's very good, on episode number 4 at the minute. So that was this week's On The Box. Messed that up, didn't I? Flipping thing. God.
Do you want to do a clean edit and just do the jingle bit?
Hang on, let me just play the music. I'll try and edit that in. It's your fault. It's all your fault, Damien, in your very flowery mug. When are our free mugs coming?
I need to speak about them because there's not enough room on the mug.
It's not that big. And that was this week's On The Box. I just have to say hello to Martin, who is watching at the minute. Thank you very much, Martin, for logging on and doing what you said you would do for work. Much appreciated. And he says Greenland is a good film. Morana Baccarin was in Firefly V and Deadpool. So there you go.
Deadpool.
That's where you have seen her. And did you know Tina Burner used to date Graham Norton, Damien?
I did not know that.
Ah, that's from Anthony.
Oh my goodness.
There you
go.
go.
Thank you, Anthony.
Yes.
Who will be coming on to do a Retro Hall of Fame?
Yes, probably next week, I think.
Excited.
If our plan works, it'll be next week. We get a Retro Hall of Fame. We will come on to that later on. Right, Damien's Bits.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I noticed we are 8:45 already. It's flying by. Right, Damien's Bits then.
Damien loves his bits. He loves showing off his bits. He loves talking about his bits. So it's time for Damien's Bits.
And this is the part in the show where we hand over to Damien Last week, he had his bits slightly misunderstood by Lisa Appleton. This week, I can't wait to see what spread of his bits he is going to show and share this week. Damien, over to you.
Thank you, sir. And it made me laugh because there was one scene last week in the show where Lisa Appleton, God love her, she had a slightly revealing-ish top on. And Ian just at one point, Lisa sort of did something, and at one point Ian went, "I'm really sorry, I got really distracted. I don't know what happened." And I was thinking, is he on the turn?
No, it definitely
turned in.
It definitely wasn't for that.
I tell you, honestly.
I didn't. The only reason I noticed is because I was watching your eyes, Damien.
I have no idea.
Instead of looking at the camera, you were like,
I'm not the only one, because Darren at one point lifted himself up.
I wasn't. My arms weren't doing that.
I was like, where were you going, Darren? Seriously. Have I got me talk over you? I can't hear it.
It is on, yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I wanted to kind of do a bit of a foodie theme this week because it was Pancake Day yesterday. So Damien's Bits this week is all about food. Now, a man's pancakes sparked absolute outrage as people decided it was worse than Weetabix and beans. So the guy's name is Mikey G, and he shared his pancake creation on Rate My Plate. Didn't even know this was a thing. Rate My Plate is on a Twitter page. But users didn't hold back when they saw the controversial combination that included fish fingers. Now, straight away when I hear that, pancake and fish fingers.
That'd work, that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's go a little bit more into the detail of this. Now, he came under fire from loads of people on Twitter. He's called Mikey G, and he shared the picture. On the plate, there was two. It says crepes here. It's pancakes. All right, mate. Pancakes.
Not American.
Two pancakes that appeared to be filled with tomato salsa, fish fingers, two of which had been used as both decoration and to hold the two pancakes together. Now, the post was simply captioned, "Fish fingers wrapped in a pancake by Mikey G." Always from Dudley. Brilliant. They're all coming from
I thought
Dudley.
it was from this set of bread then.
Now, since being shared with the group, Mikey's dish has caused absolute uproar. People went mad. One person said, "I thought beans and Weetabix was the worst food combo I'd ever seen." Another on Twitter turned around and went, "This is a clear signaling of an absolute psycho." And then another one turned around and said, "So you really went sweet and savoury and salsa? Really? You should die." No need for that. You can't wish death on people
But
for
pancakes aren't
So I've got
sweet.
a picture for you.
No,
now,
see,
unfortunately, we can't do this on the audio, but I will show you a picture of said pancake, and it's there, boys.
That's all right.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't disagree with eating that.
Yeah, I'd eat that.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think it would be a bit...
No, I think that would be quite nice.
Then again, I'm the guy that likes mashed potato, cheese, and quavers in the same bowl. So
Well, and here we
Whoa,
go.
whoa, what?
yeah, true. Yeah,
Mashed potato,
this is why I'm having a vaccine.
mashed potato, cheese, and quavers.
And quavers, I've put French fries in there, crisps. I've put,
Well, hold that thought before you continue with this. This leads me on to the second part of Damien's Bits, and Darren will like this. Dad's incredible crisp sandwiches, sparked by What's Its Butty, turns him into a viral sensation. Now, some of these, actually, when I was at work, I actually thought, these sound really nice. So I'm going to go through it. His name's Ben Taylorson. He's from Middlesbrough. And he's been making a sandwich involving crisps every day during the month of February. Now, some of the unusual combinations have captured loads of imagination. He's become an internet sensation. He's 40 years old. Now, one sandwich inspired by the Parmo contained chicken-flavoured crisps, grated cheese, white sauce, and garlic mayo. Nom, 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 nom. Another Valentine special contained hula hoops in the shape of hearts, tomato puree, and emmental cheese.
Now, you see, I have an issue with that because hula hoops in sandwiches don't go very well because you can't crush them enough.
It ruins the bread.
Yeah, it sort
Let me
of
give you some of
tubes
his
up the
other
bread,
creations, because I think you'll like some of these. So he's gone on to make, as I said, a crisp sandwich every day. Now, some of his most popular ones, and I'm sorry to brand these, but they have to be branded because they've got to have that flavour. So some of the creations have been made up of Tesco onion rings, cream cheese, and pickled onion. So these are the combinations he's put together.
Yeah.
Snack right prawn crackers with a hard-boiled egg and sweet chilli
Oh.
in between 2 slices of granary bread.
No.
Mm.
No.
McCoy's salt and vinegar ridge cut crisps with a cream cheese and anchovy base.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Now, this is the one I like. Pringles cream cheese,
yes.
olives, and sun-dried tomatoes.
No, so that's too posh.
This is any crisp butty. This is
Nice little bit of carver.
Three
Oh.
Men in a Microphone crisp butty.
Here we go. It continues. Beef Monster Munch with horseradish sauce and hot beef gravy.
Oh, yeah.
No, see, I wouldn't put gravy in a sandwich.
Well, I'll show you the picture in a minute. Crispy bacon frazzles with 2 fried eggs, tomato ketchup, and English mustard.
Oh, God, yes. Every single day. Yes, that sounds nice.
This one's quite nice. Cheese Doritos with salsa, shredded cheese, sour cream, and jalapenos.
No.
No?
No.
I don't know about the jalapenos, though.
Only a couple more
And
here.
the
McCoy's-
jalapenos, but not jalapenos.
All right, steady on. McCoy's salted crisps with jam and feta cheese.
No.
Skips grated cheese and tomato ketchup.
See, that's too much on a sandwich for me. I think.
Okay.
Thick enough to hold.
Now,
all-
this is a nice
Yeah.
one. I think I'm going to try this one. Walker's Poppadoms with mango chutney.
No.
No.
No. No.
Now, basically, he said so far that his favourite crisp sandwich contained beef-flavoured Space Raiders with chilies, sweet chili sauce, and sour cream. So he felt a bit miserable one night, and he made a sandwich with cheesy Wotsits. And then it went further, and he's been putting these crisps on every day, and it's gone completely viral. And I'm going to show you some pictures of them now. So you've got a couple of the crisps there, as you can see. So we've got the Pringle ones there. We've got some salami on the go. Can you see the
No,
grated
now you
cheese
see,
there?
I'm so. Now I'm going to pick a couple of things up on that. That's
Hold on, just bear with me. We're going for the beef Monster Munch with gravy. Here we go. Can we see this?
No.
Look at that gravy being
I don't-
poured over
I
Monster
think you'd have
Munch.
to have it as toast, though.
Yeah,
Instead.
it'd just be a soggy mess, wouldn't it? It'd be like gravy bread pudding. It'd be like, oh no.
I've
No.
always fancied a pot noodle sandwich as well. Really nice.
Oh, I love those with mashed potato as well on the sandwich.
What is it with you? Yes, stop with the mashed potato.
So Ben is going to continue making one crisp sandwich every day until the end of February. And those are Damien's delicious, juicy bits.
Thank you. Now I have to say, crisps on sandwiches are one of the best things ever.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
But now, are you one of these people that puts the crisps on whole and then squashes, or do you squash crisps first and then put on? Now,
No, you put everything on the sandwich and then you lean into the sandwich to flatten it.
see, I crunch crisps up in the bag and then tip over the top of the sandwich and
It
then
is
put
weird.
the bread on.
Going to throw something past you because I've been having a bit of comfort food lately. And,
bit?
all right, there he is, old Slim Jim. So my wife brought home and she went, "This is brilliant. Look at what I found here. These are brand new. Steak Wotsits." And I went, "Steak Wotsits?
Yeah.
They're not steak Wotsits, are they? They're beef Wotsits, but called steak Wotsits now."
Not good enough. More Damien's bits next week.
Damien loves his bits. He loves showing off his bits. He loves talking about his bits. So it's time for Damien's bits.
Hello to MC, who is listening from Canada. Hello. I'm not sure what time it is in Canada. You're about 6-7 hours behind us, I think. I have no idea what most of these ingredients are. That's because North American food is not as good as British food. There you go. Just going to put that out
that's
there.
Or what I will say to you, my friend, is unfortunately they're not crisps, they're chips.
Yeah, no, they're crisps. They're not chips. And
But hello and welcome to Canada.
yes,
Hello to India that listens as well. Hello to Australia.
now, Anthony's got a good point. Try and top up crushed on top of shepherd's pie. If you haven't got breadcrumbs and you want to make some, like some breaded chicken fillets, you sort of flatten the chicken fillet out and you have like a scallop thing. If you get a pack of crisps, crush them up and use them instead of breadcrumbs. Very nice indeed.
See, this is what Damien's Bits does. Damien's Bits makes the nation talk.
I'm going to give you boys a challenge. Before you scoff at it, try mashed potato with cheese.
Move on. See, cut him off.
Try it.
I'm not trying mashed potato, cheese and quavers. It's just a weird combination because the quavers would just go all bitty.
A pot noodle sandwich is awesome.
No, that'd be wrong as well. Anyway, right, let's move on. Thank you to everyone that's watching. Hello to people in Canada. I hope you're doing well and it's good over there. You're the better part of North America. Just going to say that. Right, should we do Retro Hall of Fame?
Well, it's a separate country, to be honest, but there you go.
Well, I know, but it's still North America.
Oh, here we go.
It's a separate country.
Yes,
it's
but
not America. It's Canada.
No, but it's on the continent of America, of North America. So you've got North America, South America. South America includes Mexico, Brazil, and all that sort of stuff. And then you've got North America, which is America and Canada, and then other bits.
I was about to turn him off there as well. Seriously.
Yeah, but you're wrong though, Damien. I'm just going to point that out. So we do
Canada's
Retro
a
Hall.
different country,
I know it's a different country, but it's part of the North American continent.
but it's Canada.
I know. So are we not part of Europe? Oh, no, we're not actually, are we? Retro Hall of Fame.
It's time to delve into the archive for the Retro Hall of Fame on the Three Men and a Microphone podcast.
It's almost like we plan these things. So this is the Retro Hall of Fame. And this is where people try to put something in and we vote on if it's going to go into the Retro Hall of Fame. So far, we have had entries and successful entries from Joe Lycett and Lisa Appleton. If you have a Retro Hall of Fame item that you would like to be included, head over to the website, go to thestreammedia.co.uk, and you will find us on there. And in there, you can submit using the form your Retro Hall of Fame item. And if we decide to choose you, we will get you on the show to come and record them. Yes, Damien, you put your hand up then.
I was going to say, for people that haven't listened before, what is the Retro Hall of Fame? What is it?
The Retro Hall of Fame is where things that are retro, so your favourite TV show, your favourite piece of food, your favourite piece of clothing, your favourite era, all get put in, if we decide to, into the Retro Hall of Fame.
What
Now,
happens if they don't know, Ian?
They
What
go
happens if they
into
don't
the
go
big
Retro?
fat hole of despair. And it is a big fat hole of despair.
Vanished forever.
Centered around Redditch. Anyway, Darren, I'm just. You need to introduce this Retro Hall of Fame for me, please. So this is. So earlier on this week, you did talk to Elliot Kennedy. So, do you want to introduce Elliot to us, please?
Elliot Kennedy is a northern chap who is from Sheffield, who is a record. He's a record producer, songwriter. He lives his life around music. He also owns the Steelworks recording studio. He's worked with and produced and song written for people like Bryan Adams, Spice Girls, S Club 7, Gary Barlow, Take That. He was also part of the production team, the music behind X Factor, one of the seasons. He did tell me, but I've forgotten which one it is now. So all of the songs that you love and all those really catchy tunes, more than likely, Elliot Kennedy has got something to do with them anyway. He's a top bloke. When I reached out to him to have a chat about doing an interview for These Three Media Productions, he just rang me straight back and said, yeah, Daz, yeah, let's hook up and let's do it. And this is what happened, really. It was a fantastic session I had with him. He also told me about some really cool music as well that I'd never heard of. I mean, I had to drop in a band name that probably you've never heard of.
You are, yes.
Yeah. Young Gun Silver Fox. And they sound like Toto. They sound like Steely Dan. They sound like that kind of... He taught me a phrase, because his music that he is now making for himself on his very first album is called Yacht Music, which is like Michael McDonald. You remember Michael McDonald and Toto and all those kind of people, Christopher Cross. So he's doing that for himself. What's the matter?
Well, I only wanted a little bit. You've just rambled on, you know. People can go and listen to the interview, which was out yesterday, so go back on your feed and listen to that. Should we do it?
What we're really excited about is this week's special guest on the Retro Hall of Fame. Darren is...
Elliot Kennedy. Okay, so give us an item that you want to be placed into the Retro Hall of Fame. It could be food, it could be clothing, furniture, it could be anything from 80s, 90s, something that you hold treasure to yourself.
Big Track. Do you remember
that? The toy!
Yeah. Do you remember it?
Yes!
That was my favourite thing of the 80s. I even had the trailer at the back of it. And I used to put stuff in it, like cups of tea, and program Big Track to take it from the kitchen into the living room. You know, I spilled it all the way there, of course, because I kept getting it wrong and bumping into stuff. But the idea that I had a programmable robot car thing that I could tell it to go forward however many, and they'd have to sort of judge, forward 3. I never knew what that measurement was, whether it was a foot or a beach. I don't know what it was. But you'd look at it, you go, overshot, reverse, you know. By the time the tea got there, it was stone cold and there was probably half of it on the carpet. But the concept that I had this programmable machine, I just played with it for hours. It was the best thing ever.
Big Track. I remember those fondly. Thank you very much, Elliot, for your Retro Hall of Fame item.
So, Elliot Kennedy's Retro Hall of Fame is Big Tracks. Now, when I first heard this, if you're not sure what Big Tracks is, it is that. I'm just showing it on people that are watching at the moment will be able to see a picture of it. It is basically, and I'm sure it's by Tomy in this country. I'm sure it was released by them. It was like a robot that you could program in to move around the house, and it would do different things, and it would dance, and it would do all stuff like that. And you could get a little, as Elliot said, you could get a trailer that goes on the back of it, and you could transport thing around. Now, when I first watched that, I was like, oh yes, I never had one. I love them. I always wanted one. So I think that's one of the better choices we've had so far for the Retro Hall of Fame. Damien, do you know what it is? Have you ever heard of it?
I've got to be honest, no, I don't. And it's a difficult one for me because listening to Elliot there, it is what the Retro Hall of Fame's about. Do you know what I mean? It's quirky, it's retro. But I don't know whether it's well known enough, and I'm probably going to come under fire now.
No, it is so well known. There will be so many people watching and listening now that will go, oh my God, I loved one. I had one. They were brilliant.
I'm a no.
Oh, you're wrong. Darren.
I am a no.
You're wrong.
Captain, come to me. Go on.
Darren.
You know what I'm going to say to this anyway, because I had one of these. I played with it for hours and hours and hours. And I also did what Elliot did as well during that little chit-chat that we had about the Retro Hall of Fame, where he put things in it and things used to spill out of it. And it was great fun. I had little figurines just to put in the back of it as well. Really, really good fun. I forgot that it was actually remote control, wasn't it? I did forget that.
Yes, it was. It was remote control. It had a little number pad on the thing, and basically you had to press the forward button, then try and guess how many the numbers, and no one knew how far one of those numbers was. So you put forward 10, right, and then forward 15, back 10, and you used to be able to do that. It was, for the time and for when we were children, it was brilliant. So, Damien, you're a no.
I'm a no.
Me, I am a big fat yes. Darren?
I'm a big fat yes as well.
And just going off our live stream, which you can watch every Wednesday evening from 8 o'clock on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter, the overriding consensus on there is that it is a yes. So, I am very pleased to announce that Elliot Kennedy's Retro Hall of Fame of Big Tracks is being inducted. That is 2 entries in 2 weeks. So, do you think you have a Retro Hall of Fame that you would like to come on the show and argue that should go into the Retro Hall of Fame? If you do, excuse me, follow us on Facebook or Twitter. Send us a message on there. Head over to these3media.co.uk and follow the podcast links, and you'll be able to submit an entry form on there, and we will get you on the show to discuss your Retro Hall of Fame entry. Next week, we will have another Retro Hall of Fame. And there we go. That's a brilliant Retro Hall of Fame.
That's what the Retro Hall of Fame is all about.
Yes, definitely.
You know, I would love, if you can, Ian, tomorrow, can you send me a link to describe exactly what it is? Because I don't get it, and I think that's the issue. If you send me a link to it so I can see.
Well, you were wrong anyway, so it's fine. So it doesn't really matter. You can Google it yourself. Just Google Big Tracks. Yeah, just Google Big Tracks.
I think he's more upset the fact that he was outvoted anyway.
It's not. I just don't know what it is.
You were just wrong. Right. I think we're almost at the end. I am just bear with me on the live stream very, very quickly. 1 second. We will be right back. That's the wrong screen record. There we go. Right, sorry about that. Just had to check something very quickly. Right, it is time to say au revoir to this week's show. And that is it for this week's episode of 3 Men and a Microphone. Thank you so much for listening. If you have missed it, don't forget to go and have a listen to Elliot Kennedy's interview, which was released earlier on this week. Go back on your feed, you will see it on there. And you can listen to the interview that Darren did with him. Darren, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a fantastic show. Really enjoyed it. And until next time, stay cool.
Damien, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a great show. Always say this, but if you can tell at least one person about the show, all you need to do, say, put in 3 Men and a Microphone into your search on podcasts, and every week for free it will come into your library and you can listen to the episodes. So thank you and stay safe.
Thank you very much. We will be back again next week on your podcast feed. Don't forget you can watch this show live and see all the bits that don't make the edit every Wednesday on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube at 8 p.m. Just search for us on all of those and you will find us on there. 3 Men and a Microphone has been a These 3 Media production, and this episode has been dedicated to Wes Lee. Rest in peace. And until next week, thank you very much for listening. Goodbye. Okay, we are still on, Damien, just to let you know, just in case you've forgotten, we are still on. Right, thank you very much if you've been watching on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube today. Don't forget, please do spread the word if you're watching this live. Share it out with everyone that you can find and let us help us grow this podcast into what it is going to be this time next year. We will be millionaires. Yes, you may have seen we've been at the start of the show. We had some sad news this week. So I will just quickly hand over to Damien.
Yeah, we did. It's tough enough out there at the moment, and someone that I lost contact with back when I used to do hospital radio, he used to come in as an enthusiastic guy interested in radio. He'd come into my show, have a listen, want to get involved. He would ask every question under the sun. He would talk to me even during links. I think at one point I had to throw him out the studio. He was a lovely young man, and I lost contact with him for many, many, many years. And only recently came back into his life. But what I did find out that he had battled cancer twice before, as well as his young daughter having cancer as well. And then he got it again. His wish was to see one last Christmas, which he did do, and had a great time with his children. And we lost him. I think it was Monday, but he passed at 1:24 in the afternoon. A lot of his family had been with him, and when I FaceTimed him, his family were in the hospice with him. Really amazing dad, fantastic father, inspiration. That, do you know what, he never really got him down. He just wanted to keep fighting. Darren, you were lucky enough to spend some time with him.
Yeah, I met Wes whilst I was a DJ for Chicago Rock Cafe brand, and he came to me in the Reddit Chicago Rock Cafe. I remember he bowled over to me, loud as anything, and just said, "Hey up, Daz, I've been a favourite." You know, suddenly he's northern again. Anyway, but he was a big fan of apparently what I was doing and what the Chicago Rock Cafe brand was, and he said, "Will you train me up?" And I'm like, I don't know, I forgot time. Then he came again. "Will you train me up?" I said, "Yeah, I'll train you up." So he came with me and followed me to many, many nights that we did for Chicago Rock brand around the Midlands area. And I've trained a lot of DJs up to do nightclub and party DJ work. He was the only DJ that I ever trained that I feared for my own job. He was that good. And he puts all of that success, and he says it's down to me. And I said, you know, you got it in you in your first place to do it. There's been times, again, like Damien said, where you have to throw him out of the studio. You know, it was like that. You know, and I remember saying to him, "If you play Build Me a Buttercup one more time, I'll give you a slap." And we used to laugh and laugh and laugh about it. So my memory of Wes, superb superstar DJ. And when we get back into nightclubs and bars and party bars, we're going to miss him. The dance floors will miss him.
Thank you very much, both. Our thoughts go out to Wesley's family at this difficult time. Look after yourselves. Tell the people who are close to you that you love them. And we will be back again next week. Until then, look after yourself. This has been a These Three Media production, and we will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here. You are